Porto approach asked us to call Porto Tower. So I'm changing the active frequency to Porto Tower. Porto Tower. This is Quebec Foxtrot 1468. Passing flight level 048 on descent to 4000.
Quebec 1468. Continue approach. Descend to 4000. Expect ILS approach to runway 17.
Continue approach. Descend to 4000. Expect ILS approach to runway 17. Quebec 1468.
Okay, landing briefing. There are no abnormal threats for this approach. The weather's good and the runway's dry. We are flying the ILS to runway 17 at Porto. The approach chart is 22412-1. The ILS frequency is 109.90 and the final approach course is 171 degrees. The final approach fix is 1,700 feet and decision altitude is 450 feet. Touchdown elevation is 225 feet. Minimum safe altitude is 2,000 to the west and 3,000 in all easterly sectors, rising to a minimum safe of 5,100 after 20 miles. It'll be a flaps 40 approach with brakes 2. The runway is 11,400 feet long with category 2 lighting and PAPI lights on the left side. There's an incursion hotspot halfway down the runway with a risk of aircraft entering from our right. We'll plan to exit to our left at Delta. If we go missed, we'll maintain runway heading to an altitude of 3,000. Passing 3,000, we'll turn right and continue our climb to arrive at Retmo Holding at flight level 060. Any questions or additions?
Just to note that ground movements at Porto are controlled by the tower, so we won't be changing frequency after landing.
Good point. Noted. Okay, we're established on base. Reducing the airspeed to 200 knots. At 200 we can deploy a maximum of 15 degrees of flap. Flaps to 10.
Quebec 1468. Descend to 3000. Report established on the ILS.
Descend to 3000. Report established on the ILS. Quebec 1468.
Turning final. Altitude to 3000. Speed to 190. That allows us 25 degrees of flap. Speed to 175. Now we can have up to 30 degrees of flap. Setting altitude to decision height. Flaps 15, flaps 25. The little pink triangles confirm we are exactly on our correct vertical path. Select the localizer. Select approach.
Porto Tower. This is Quebec 1468. Established on the ILS for runway 17.
Flaps 30.
Quebec 1468. Continue approach.
Continue approach. Quebec 1468.
Speed down to 160. That'll permit full flaps at 40 degrees. Gear down. 3 greens.
Three greens. Check.
$2,500.
Disengage auto throttle. Cancel auto throttle disengage warning. I have manual control of the speed. Slowing to 140 knots. Full flaps at 40 degrees.
Auto brakes to level 2.
Okay, that's it. Speed 140, stabilized and continuing.
$1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Quebec 1468, clear to land runway 17, wind light and variable.
Clear to land runway 17. Quebec 1468.
Disengage the autopilot. Cancel the autopilot disengage warning light. I now have full manual control.
$500.
Okay, here we go.
$400. $300.
Slowing to 130 knots.
$200. $100. $50. $40. $30. $20.
Retard.
$10.
Speed brakes. Reversers. Speed brakes retract.
80 knots.
Flaps retract.
Landing lights off. Taxi and runway turn off lights on. Igniters off. Start the APU. APU running. Transponder to standby. Runway vacated via Delta. Quebec 1468. Weather radar off. Terrain radar off.
Quebec 1468, taxi to Gate Sierra 33.
Gate Sierra 33. Quebec 1468. Pitot heaters off. Parking brake.
Set. Taxi light. Off. Runway turn off lights. Off. Bus to APU power. APU on bus. APU bleed. Open. Chimes. Cabin crew released. Stop engine 2. Shut off. Stop engine 1. Shut off. Seat belts. Off. Ground power. Connected. Bus to ground power. Bus on ground power on. Electric hydraulic pumps. Both on. APU power. Off. APU bleed. Closed. Wipers to park. Parked. Isolation valve. Open.
Connect passenger boarding bridge.
Doors open. Open. Terminate flight leg. Set. Shutdown to cold and dark. Aft entry door. Closed. Forward and aft cargo doors. Closed. Ignition. Flipped. Window heaters. Off. Fuel pumps. All off. Packs. Off. IRS selectors. Off. Chocks. Deployed. Parking brake. Off. All doors closed except entry door. All closed. Electric hydraulic pumps. Off. Trimmer. Off. Emergency exit lights. Off. Ground power. AC off. Battery power. Off. All checklists complete.
Right, that's it. We can have a little walk around and stretch our legs before we do the whole thing again in reverse. Bye for now.
Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed the flight.